Mr. Smith, who lives in Lindsay, would like to know, why do the young students at the college have 2 bus shelters when the seniors at 65 Melbourne Street West have to stand on the road with no shelter and wait for their bus?
Wow, that's a good question from Mr. Smith. I'd have to check with our transit department to see, why there's more shelters near the college. Perhaps it's a volume of students at certain times of the day that are catching the buses more than the volume of the other location that you referred to. We put shelters up. We can't have shelters at every bus stop, obviously, so we put them up where some of the higher areas, more exposed areas are.
Higher in density?
Yeah, higher volume of people, getting the bus at certain locations, and again, more exposed areas. Some of them are more exposed to the elements. So they do have a little bit of a criteria. I'm not exactly familiar with those locations, so I can't give you an exact, this is why. But if Mr. Smith wants to send in a request to our customer service, we will certainly, rationalize that for him and get him a response. And if he doesn't get a response, tell him to give me a call.
Great. Well, the advocate will let him know.
Perfect.
Now, Christine in Lindsay wants to know, why can't we get a dedicated GO bus stop here in Lindsay? The number 88 bus from Peterborough skirts this area, she says, and it could easily stop here. She points out that MPP Laurie Scott, being in cabinet and perhaps with some municipal push from you and council, that maybe this could happen.
Yeah, no, it's a great comment, and we're looking to expand our transit connections, with the Peterborough, with the GO bus down south, down Highway 35, hopefully with the Via Rail at some point if it comes forward. Part of our growth plan that we're working on with the province, we're in the growth study area of the greater GTA, and the province's commitment is we do all sorts of studies and plans that we try to rationalize our areas of growth, but the province is supposed to be pitching in and funding. If we're going to be part of that growth around the GTA, they need to be funding these kind of things, exactly what you're talking about there, to help us with some of these transportation issues. So we are lobbying constantly to do that, and we feel over the next couple of years, I think with some of the growth that we're going to see here in the municipality, and that argues we do have a minister in cabinet, and I think the time is, if we're ever going to see something like that, the time is now. So we are on it. I can assure you we're on it. That's very important.
So we're lobbying for both, as a city then, both the GO bus stop and in Pontypool area, the GO train.
Yeah, well, the GO bus picks up there at the commuter lot. What we're looking to do in our future transit plans is connect that with some of our local transit. So even from Lindsay, that run one of our buses from Lindsay down to the GO stop or to the Via Rail if it's ever there. So start connecting some of these other. If we can't get them to come here, maybe there's a way that we can connect. We're just working on those transit plans. So yeah, hopefully something in the near future.
Great. Federal election is coming up, as you know. Any comments from you about the campaign or the election itself?
Well, I think there's lots of comments flying around these days, but I'm in my role. I could give you a personal opinion, but in my role as mayor, I will say I'm obviously going to work with whatever level, whatever party of government is in there. The biggest thing I can put out about the federal election is just that people get out and vote. We have the turnout of young people who vote in our country and most countries is pathetic, for lack of a better word. And these are the ones that have the ideas and are going to change our world. So I encourage them to, parents and grandparents to get their youth to, do some homework, find out what the candidates stand for, and whatever direction you're looking for the country or that you feel things should be going, then go and make a difference, because that one vote can make a difference. So. I'll leave my comments on the federal election at that I would love to see that youth rate of voting, come up, because I think they've got a lot to say, and I think we need to listen, and this is a really good place to start.
Absolutely. If they're taking part in marches and so on, then they've got the time to vote.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. No excuses.
The 68 Lindsay Street Affordable Housing Building. That's a brand new building at Queen and Lindsay Streets. A woman has started an online petition because she wants it to be a rehabilitation facility and says there is a lot of drug activity going on in these 24 one-bedroom units. What's the vision for this building?
Well, the vision is the same as what it always was when we built it. Council approved an affordable housing Half of it is affordable housing, 24 single units, as you mentioned. The other half is housing our human services staff. So they're all there now. They moved in last weekend. They're there for support. So, you know, the vision is we've taken basically 24 homeless people in this area off the street, and we've given them a home. And I've heard the comments about, you know, some of them have some mental health issues and some addiction issues. And yeah, they do. But they have a home, and a lot of them for the very first time. And if we're gonna, you know, we can argue about whether that's the best model. It's called a housing first model. They don't have to commit to any kind of rehab or therapy or caseworkers to get into a home. It's just give them a roof over their head, and now we can start working on some of the other issues that they have to try to get them a little bit bigger part of, you know, contributing to society. So this is a first step. We have people on site. You know, we've always had people on site, but we have more people on site now to help them with some of that. I know there's been some issues down there. I accept that. We kind of knew that going in a little bit, that this was a high risk, you know, a high risk building that was going to make a difference. I mean, think about it. We took 24 struggling homeless people with issues off the street, and we've got them somewhere now where, you know, we can get them the proper help that they need. And
if they ask for it.
If they ask for it.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's going to be part of it. And I know people have said the police are there and the ambulance is there all the time. Well, but they were always going all over the place to meet these people before. So now, you know, now they're there, and we can deal with it more. And I think as this goes on, they'll start, this is early, you know, early in the process. And if people will just be a little bit patient on that, I think it's going to be a real model that's proven to work in other countries and other areas of the world. So we're very hopeful that this will start to settle down a little bit, and people will, you know, neighbors and stuff. I get it. I mean, it's a neighborhood thing, and I totally respect that. But I think the thing we don't want to lose sight of is we've done a really big step in the right direction here, and we're going to have to grind through a few problems before we get to where we want to be. But I think we're heading in a good direction there.
Great. Another advocate reader says prior to the last election, there was further discussion regarding Walmart coming to Lindsay by the mayor. What is the current status of this?
I haven't had that question in probably 30 seconds. So, yeah, so we've, as you can see from the site over on Coburn, there's a lot of dirt being moved, an awful lot of dirt. A lot of money being spent over there. I can't give you an exact update. I know they're negotiating with Walmart. They still are. I probably said that last year, you know, before the election. Things are looking very positive. I will say that. It's just going to be, it's an agreement again between, you know, a private business Walmart and a private property owner. And I would like to think they wouldn't be spending that kind of money and doing that kind of work out there if they didn't have something in place. But at the end of the day, that'll be up to them to make that announcement when the time is right. But I'm very optimistic that we'll be able to, you know, make some good news announcements before the end of the year.